Fair use. Do not DMCA me, please. If you do, you are a duty head. I don't know. Whatever. Don't don't DMCA me just because you're losing. All right. So I'm sticking this fair use thing on here. Anyway, so here we go. So this is this just came across my radar. Um, we were talking about Paul Reed Smith. I don't know if you ever seen Paul Reed Smith has this type of bridge that yeah. Let me show you a picture. So it's this bridge where you can't adjust the intonation. It's kind of stuck. And I guess that's convenient if you use exactly the same size strings that this thing's made for and you never ever change that. But I can't believe you would really want a bridge like this on anything but a throwaway guitar. I don't even know why acoustic guitars have bridges like this. It's just not adjustable in any way. Um, you're just screwed, you know? I mean, I guess you can change the action or whatever, but if you wanted to put like when we tried on ours, I have one of those, not a Silver Sky, it's just a silver, solid colored one of these things. And, man, I thought I deleted Stream Elements. Sorry about that, guys. I have one of these things, but if you put a fatter string on for doing like drop D or whatever, you're screwed. You're stuck with it. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me, but I was looking for this video where Paul Reed Smith was trying to prove Tonewood by hitting a piece of wood. It was hilarious. And what comes up but this some kind of new video after Jim Lill's video. I mean, I can't believe anybody's still pushing this crap after Jim Lill, but maybe these guys aren't. I don't know. I haven't even seen it, but it says Paul Reed Smith ends the Tonewood debate. As far as I know, Paul Reed Smith was pro Tonewood. That's like saying some flat earther ends the flat earth debate. I don't see this happening, but let's just watch this thing and see what this is about. I'm color me skeptical. All right, so here we go. And I'm not sure if I'm going to watch this whole thing. It's pretty long. I've got to go and do stuff, but let's just see. This is a show called Dipped in Tone, or a channel called Dipped in Tone, I think. And then you guys let me know if my levels are crappy. Okay. Rhett Shull. Isn't Rhett Shull? He makes Helix. Who's Rhett Shull? All you guys know who Rhett Shull is. I'm sorry that I don't. I think I watched videos of him like teaching how to use a Helix or something. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a bunch of Helix presets and Kemper presets and stuff like that. I think I like this guy. It says Rhett Shull about to lose an argument with PRS. Interesting. And Zach Broyles, I don't know who that is.
It's exciting for me too.
All right, I'm sorry guys. I'm gonna speed this up, okay?
But still, equally as excited. We've got one Paul Reed Smith on the show. Perhaps you know him. He builds guitars, a couple amplifiers, a few pedals.
So I'm just going at 1 1/4 speed.
All the heads of guitar companies. I mean, there's people that we know, right? Right. But I can't really think of another person like Paul that is still so much in the forefront of his own business. Yeah. And like when I think about what I want to do with Mythos and how I want to be perceived and like how much I want to work moving forward, it mirrors both Josh Scott and Paul Reed Smith, and I just respect him so much for what he does still. Yeah, those are two really solid people to look towards. Both have built incredibly successful companies.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Like, who guitar company wise, who do you know that has their guitar company named after him or whatever, and also is out there for you to talk to? As far as I know, Paul Reed Smith actually talks to people, and he is out there every once in a while. So is Kiesel, but I'm not sure that that's a good example, right? I think what is that, Penta Sir Guitars or whatever, that guy is out there. And of course, like Ola and what's the guy, Chapman or whatever, but maybe those aren't such good examples. Yeah, interesting.
JHS have built really great like work
cultures around. Like when I've been to Kansas, you've been to JHS in Kansas City.
All right. Okay. So what do we do?
Seems to be
Should I just skip this stuff?
Just and
Let me.
beer initials. So
It could be
is that what
exactly what it sounds like. It doesn't
That's
sound like a
exactly
pedal
what
brand.
it sounds like.
So,
You know, if it
so
didn't start with yeah, well, okay, there you go. So
if it
don't
didn't
do
start with
that.
W,
Yeah, if it didn't start with W, it'd be better. But
but
it doesn't.
RCB, no, that's dumb. Dumb. So how's,
Sounds like a
how's
motorcycle.
things going? It does.
Things are
It sounds
good.
like
It sounds like a scooter, like a 50cc. Just same old same. Just working.
pop, an audible, just like, and
Just eat.
thing, both bones in my wrist.
All right. Let's see if where Paul Reed Smith shows up.
I bet they're all pooping.
I saw that one time at a restaurant. I literally witnessed someone snap at their server, and I thought I was going to come out of the chair.
I found it. There it is.
Hey, oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a man.
Yeah. What's up? It's
a man named
Timmons.
Matthew.
Yeah, bring it. Like, scoot you a chair over here.
Is that Paul Reed Smith?
This is my shill of the week.
All right. Sorry.
Years power play right there.
Exciting. My
Shoyle. Or Paul.
That's sweet.
Okay. So I think this is Paul Reed Smith.
Paul, thanks for joining us, man.
That's sweet. I look like Mickey Mouse with these headphones. Mickey.
Me
No,
too.
we're all wearing them, man. You look great.
Yeah,
look
but
great.
I look worse than the other three. It's great.
So,
So you-
yeah, welcome to Dipped in Tone, man. Happy to have you on. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to speak with you today. We've got some topics and some questions lined up for you that I think we're gonna have a good time talking through. So, thanks, man.
Can I cause trouble?
Oh yeah, of course.
Please.
Okay.
We tried to go through all. You just got back from Europe.
Yeah.
We made a ton of stuff, so we tried to distill a lot of that. So we're hopefully not going to be retreading too much ground. And
Oh, we'll
hopefully
make
like
it
that
all
all.
new. There's plenty to talk about. Our industry shifts every day.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And trouble makes good radio. So,
See, I want to like this guy, but and I'm sure I would. I just I don't agree with him on the Tonewood thing, right?
So, speaking of, how was your Europe trip?
Well, I went to Japan.
Come on, I want to hear him end the Tonewood debate. Come on, guys.
Over here, you go here. There's a lot.
Nice. Was it bigger or smaller than Rick?
Dip a rig.
Yeah.
We're dipping a rig.
Okay.
So the title of the show
What?
is Dipped in Tone.
I got that dipped in glass, dipped in tone. I like that.
Should we
So-
explain the origin of the title first, or just move? on?
Yeah. So Rhett and I, for those that don't know, too, we always found the saying, "Well, I'll be dipped in shit," really funny. And
It's still funny.
You ever
it's
heard that?
hilarious.
Yeah, of course I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when all this started, we were invading each other's live streams. I was doing the Mythos Pedals live stream. Rhett
Yeah.
was doing his live stream, and we thought we should turn this into a show. And like, what should we call it? And the obvious choice for both of us was Dipped in Tone.
Yeah, yeah.
But
There you go.
dipping a rig is something we started where the listeners of the show, the patrons, people who support us on Patreon, will send photos of their guitar rig, and we'll dissect it, talk about it, see what we like, what we don't like, what we change, and just have a little conversation and involve the community. So
So you're going to show me a rig, and
Mhm.
I'm going to have to talk about what I like and what I don't like about the rig.
Yes.
But I am reticent to do the don't part. But let's go. Let's just.
Well,
do
no.
it.
Here's the thing. So these are all willing participants who, they know that by providing their rigs to be dipped, that they're going to get an honest take of what we like and we don't
Let's
like.
go.
At
Let's
the
go.
end,
They
you're
want
going to give a
honesty.
rating. You're going to get a rating out of 10, and that rating is in the unit of Shoyles, which we'll get to in a minute. So let's see.
All right. Oh, here we go.
boom, there it is.
Nice. Okay,
So,
cool.
What model boogie is that?
That is the Fillmore 25. So I can pull it up here, so we can.
Is that a
Okay.
new model?
It's fairly new.
Yeah.
So here, let me break down this rig. So this is from John Carley, and we'll do the guitars first. He's got a US Strat. It's been modified a little bit. He's got a PRS S2 McCarty. It says 594 thin line.
Uh-huh.
An Epiphone 1966.
All right, do you guys care? I think I'm just going to go on to where he ends the Tonewood debate.
Issue. The amp is a Mesa Boogie fit a variety of stuff. He's got his lab micronym that is it's got
What look, for somebody who's doing what you said, that's a well thought through, heartfelt, can get a tone out of it rig. Period.
Yeah, well, and I like that it seems that the PRS, this is the 594 thin line S2, right? That seems to be the center point of the rig. So
With this rig, I'm close to a vintage 30 in the cabinet. Say that, and did he get the new Carlos Central?
and
each time you go into one and another and another and one or two.
one of the gain stages on the 4.
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably gonna have to just skip around. I hate this clickbait crap.
9 added together and divided by 2 is 9.3. I get her at 9.3. I'm right.
Very diplomatic of you.
Very. But the thing you left out was his goal. It makes his goal.
Oh, for sure. It does more.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I mean, that's a rig you could take to damn near any gig, to any session, depending on what the session is, who the artist you're playing for is.
You could get through the session.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I might not be as happy with without my stuff, but I get through the
Old HD 50 before the name change back there.
Do you really?
I do, and it's so good. So I worked. I
Oh
worked
my
at
god. Sorry, guys.
We're doing these shootouts that you're talking about. I'm talking with you about having. Once you played to an old 65 plexi with a rectifier tube, you're not going to think the same thing again.
As long as it's in good condition and is a good example, right? Like that's the other part with vintage gear is I grew up, especially with vintage guitars, thinking that as I started to learn about this stuff, because it was old, it was good, which is not the case. You know, we talk about this on the show all the time.
Yeah.
We actually just had
It's the argument from antiquity, right? I'm sorry. I'm looking for this Tonewood stuff.
In Germany, when I was over there, that I think sticks. If the instrument doesn't matter and it's only the pickup.
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry.
So, I was talking about that, and I realized that I'd spent my whole career doing these shootouts that you're talking about. I'm talking with you about having. Once you played to an old 65,
I start to get these things a lot, so.
So every time you say Carter Vince, you say drink.
Yes.
And every time I think about this interview, maybe I want a scotch. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing at all. What kind of scotch you drink?
Don't ask.
Okay.
I like really good old peaty scotch.
Oh, you're a peat guy.
Octomore
Oh,
is my favorite.
you're a real peat guy.
All right, come on.
But yeah, so there's this idea
Andrew
that
likes it.
the idea that because you have something that's old, it's automatically good, and
All right,
that
so
is not the
the
case.
promise of old gear is if you get an old pedal, if you get an old amp, it's going to make you better. It's mostly a lie.
Yeah.
But once in a while, it's not. That's the sifting through process.
Yeah, but just because it's old doesn't mean it's good. Anything we could make before, we can make now. I know it's sad that we haven't been to the moon in forever, but
So to me,
let's see.
the only way I can learn from the masters that started our business is from these old pieces of gear. I can't talk to Forrest White anymore, who's the production manager at Fender anymore. I can't. I got to talk to him a couple days ago.
It's not like they had some secret though.
Look, mostly it's a lie. You're right, but once in a while, oh my God, it's not.
So I think that's a good segue into something that we wanted to touch on, because in watching that pedal show, you guys started to talk about the Tonewood debate, and then on the Andertons thing, you compared the Paul's guitar that belongs to Pete with another guitar they had at the shop, and just demonstrated acoustically, what it is good wood can do. And
Okay. Let's leave aside the idea that different species of wood are going to make acoustic guitars sound different. But we're talking about electric guitars. I don't care what the electric guitar sounds like acoustically. I don't think anybody else does any either. I think that's a straw man argument.
that's something that people still debate ad nauseum about the fact that wood does or does not matter, and in our opinion, of course it does, but we wanted to talk to you about that and get some input as to
So I found an argument in Germany when I was over there that I think sticks. If the instrument doesn't matter and it's only the pickup, then a concert violinist would go up to a Neumann microphone and the violin would not matter at all. It's his hands and the microphone. That's it. That's all that matters according to the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could if you're talking about violins that are exactly the same. Again, you're talking about an acoustic instrument, so let's move to electric guitars.
What a load of crap. So, if you grab any guitar behind you, that's any brand, it's going to make a vowel sound. It's going to make a ooh, or a ah, or a eh, or a eh, or a e. It's going to make, and you've heard guitars go when you play them, or ones that go da 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 da. A really good guitar.
Doesn't that have to do with the scale length and where on the guitar the pickup is? I don't see it doing anything else. Are you proposing there's a different mechanism? You got to show that stuff.
Guitar is bright on the bass strings and really thick on the high strings. And that, the pickup picks up. And the idea that the pickup is...
Oh, wait. You talk about the acoustic sound of the electric? So you're saying that the electric pickup picks up the acoustic sound? No, it doesn't. You'd have to prove that.
Ignore the fact that that red guitar in the rig is hollow and has a note that's coming out of it all the time. Those harmonics are added to every note you play is nuts. And, you know, I've heard it over and over and over and over again, that the Tonewoods don't make any difference whatsoever.
So I'm actually having trouble. I used to think that semi-hollows, like 335s or whatever, would feed back like crazy. And with regular pickups, I just couldn't get. I always used them to try and get feedback for feedback sounds, and I actually can't get them to feedback any easier than any other guitar, which is weird. Unless you use the old crappy pickups in it that aren't potted and they just start, they're gonna go microphonic anyway.
It's just not true.
It's making claims, but you'd have to prove this.
Violin makers to my wood supplier once, and they went and knocked on every piece of wood in this entire...
I could see the violin makers knocking on wood, but then again, we know about these violin tests where all these alleged experts can't tell the difference between their bajillion-dollar Stradivarius and some $80 violin on Amazon. So really, it's just still just anecdotal non-evidence.
And they were listening not for the note, but how long it rang. And at the end, the wood cutter jaw dropped. And I said, "What's wrong?" He goes, look what they picked out. They picked out 40 backs for violins. They all had the same number on it. I said, "What does that mean?" He says, "They're all from the same tree, Paul." I mean, they had picked out the ones that rang the longest. It was all coming from...
Is this not like listening to creationists talk about like miracles or whatever? They're all from the same tree. The garbage clan flew across the room.
From the same tree. So now that doesn't matter. It's just...
Again, we're talking about electric guitars. Come on, guy.
Video that went around earlier this year. It was a Nashville guitarist named Jim Lill.
Yeah. Jim Lill smoked this stuff. I mean, you guys would have to present like really good evidence to refute what Jim Lill showed.
Made this video, trying to...
If you haven't seen this is the one where Jim Lill puts the tuners on one desk and a bridge on another desk and then just connects them with strings. So he's got it basically an air guitar, right? And it sounds just like any other electric guitar you would expect it to.
Sort of quantify how much the wood affects the sound of a guitar. And the video went somewhat viral throughout the guitar YouTube world. Have you seen this where he like makes the guitar between two wood benches? And yeah. So what do you think about that video?
I thought he was in the right garden at the beginning of the journey. I
Interesting.
don't think he was not at the end of the journey.
Yes, because he started with a perfectly valid test, and you don't like the results of that test, so you don't think he's right. I mean, what else are we? Okay, come on.
Look, take Joe Walsh, take Brent Mason, take...
Here comes the name dropping. But again, I mean, is this not like when you watch those creation versus evolution debates?
Grissom, take any of... They're all doing shootouts, nonstop, usually in their basement with a Blackface Deluxe. Constantly. as if it doesn't make a difference. Of course it makes a difference.
You just keep saying that.
Talking about this acoustic tone that the guitar makes, and then the pickup is picking that up, and
The electric guitar pickup does not pick up the acoustic sound of a guitar. An electric guitar pickup amplifies the vibrating string that's breaking the magnetic field. Put nylon strings on your electric guitar and see what it picks up there, the acoustic sound.
has its own parametric equalizer. So it's a combination of the acoustic sound of the guitar, how long it rings, what harmonics it's amplifying, how even it is or not, and then the pickup makes a huge difference. In a strat that has not been de-stratified, you have a note that you can hear in every note you play. That whistle note is in the pickups. It's not in the guitar, that's in the pickups. So you think of it as a strat sound. But if the amount of shootouts that Carlos or John Mayer, you just
keep name dropping.
Anybody. It's astounding.
Is this not the argument from personal incredulity right here?
The guitar sounds acoustically and electrically, and the pedal board. I mean, the first time I played to
I'm just going to have to leave a comment here.
it was taking high end away, it was taking out bass, it was doing this, it was doing that. It was basically fixing a strat. Right. It was cool, except every time I turned the gain up, the bass went away, which I did. Look. By definition, I'm probably one of the worst gearsmiths you guys. My wife says when I'm looking at eBay, I use sliding. I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy this whole process of learning about this industry. Most people got into guitars because they wanted to date. I got into it because I loved the tone. I thought it was awesome. I was dipped in tone.
Hey.
Sorry. No, it's great. Do you think that a lot of this stems from just inexperience? Because that was...
Oh, yes, here you go, too. Here's the ad hominem. Oh, you must be inexperienced. That's why you can't hear that guitar wood doesn't make any difference. Because it doesn't make a difference.
No, for players who argue that it doesn't matter, because that's how when it clicked with me that all these things that the wood truly is so monumental as
Makes a
how
difference. It's a part of the puzzle. It's not all of it.
It's not. You're
We blame
wrong.
everything on one thing. It's a combination, a long string combination problem.
Yeah, but do you think
What a toad. So this is like, people arguing over how to talk to Bigfoot, right? First, you got to prove Bigfoot exists. It doesn't matter how you guys decide you want to talk to Bigfoot. If Bigfoot doesn't exist, it doesn't make any difference what you guys think about how you want to talk to him.
amplified? Do you think that people that haven't spent the time, really comparing two of the same instrument to really see that, there's something different here. What can it be? It can't just be that one set.
You're
has
just
25
asserting.
strings and the other doesn't.
That which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
There's something else that's causing that. Do you think? I mean, that's what I've always kind of thought this stems from, is this lack of experience. People getting to play as much.
All right, wait, you just made a good point. If the pickup's the only thing that matters, dead strings doesn't matter. I never thought of that till just now.
Okay. If the pickup's the only thing that matters, dead strings doesn't matter. The string is the thing that's breaking the magnetic field. This guy, holy crap. I was going to have to paste this. Wow, this guy is dumb. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother.
What's my job? What is
Your job is to sell guitars.
people's job in my building? There's 12 guitars in the rack, and the Rockstar reaches for ours before any other one. And if they don't, it's our fault. Now, in that equation, are you going to erase the importance of how the guitar rings and how much sustain it has and how even it is before the pickup's in it?
You're making claims about all that stuff. I don't know that actually makes any difference. We used to be so sure that a bolt-on neck had less sustain than a neck through, and now I don't know if anybody is so sure about that anymore.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's not that they're being dumb, or it's that they're not in a position that their entire income relies on whether or not that guy likes your guitar better than the other one. The first time Carlos Santana picked up one of my guitars and he really liked it, he got mad at me. He goes, "You're going to make me call people and not work with them anymore. You're putting me in a really bad position."
Hey, I'll tell you the first time I tried a Paul Reed Smith guitar. It was when they were pretty much a brand new company, and there was a guitar shop that had one, and one of the guitar teachers was using it for a lesson, and I played it. And I didn't like it because it didn't have a Floyd Rose, but um, I loved the fretwork was so excellent. The neck just felt so good. I just loved the way that guitar played. It had nothing to do with the wood or anything. But I'll tell you, man, back then, that first time I played a Paul Reed Smith, I thought it was just a dream guitar. The next one I played wasn't very good. It was like a C-shaped, kind of more baseball bat kind of neck, and I didn't really like it. But that first one, man, I'd never had good. This was before the Plek days and stuff. I'd never had really good fretwork on a guitar before. I just had cheap guitars, and that was pretty awesome, actually.
And I don't like it. I apologize.
All right, but let's get some evidence.
So when it comes to building, well, when it comes to a great guitar,
here we go. Let's go down this road.
yeah, I really want to go down this road.
All right.
So we all agree that wood matters.
No.
It is, but
No, we all don't agree. That's what we were just saying.
well, I mean, the
We
three of us
agree.
on this
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
No. Okay, Red Shoals is nuts as the rest of them.
And to me, the wood debate ended when I realized that every guitar player that I look up to and respect and study and want to emulate that I know, Tim Pierce is a mutual friend of ours. Tim is a huge influence for me.
He can't play.
Hey, you said it, man. I didn't say that.
I was sarcastic as
I'm gonna
hell.
get a call after this.
I feel
Paul,
like
and
I'm in,
gonna have to.
I'm in the dunce chair. Look, of course Tim can play. He's brilliant.
Oh, of course
He's
he is.
frighteningly good. He's
Oh.
your friend. I'm teasing him.
Oh, I know. I'm teasing back. My point is that every guitar player that I respect and look up to all understands that a great guitar is the sum of all of its parts, and
That's
a
right.
major part of the guitar is the wood.
All right, present some evidence, man. Now I look at all these three
Looking
idiots.
for a good piece of wood or a good. Well, let me back up. With a specific guitar is.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to put you guys through this. Nobody ended the Tonewood debate here. This is just a bunch of dorks asserting stuff they can't prove and aren't even trying. So